She stood over him, smug, violet skin glinting beneath the dual suns. "That's your armor?" she sneered, pointing her obsidian blade at the human's chest. "It looks like scrap plating held together with hope." Commander Raylan Knox didn't flinch. He simply stood, feet planted in the red dust of the Arena of Ruul, and adjusted the collar of his ragged exosuit. "It's Mark III synth fiber." He flexed a hand, the gauntlet humming faintly. "Classified tech." She threw her head back and laughed, the way predators do when they know the kill is inevitable. "Synth fiber? That's Earth's idea of protection? I've gutted warships with less effort." Her name was Veyna, a blade sister of the Silt Rapture, a warrior race bred in the crucibles of gas giant storms. She towered over Knox, muscular and lithe, every motion like a serpent preparing to strike. The crowd roared her name from the massive amphitheater carved into the side of a canyon moon. Betting chips flashed. Holoscreens buzzed. 1,000 species had come to watch the Earthling die. Raylan's helmet remained clipped to his belt. He wanted to see the sky, in case this really was his last breath. "Ready, tiny man?" Veyna purred, blade twirling. Knox exhaled. "Born ready." She struck. The blade screamed through the air, slicing down like a comet, straight for his clavicle. Knox made no move to dodge. The crowd leaned in. The moment her blade made contact with his armor, there was a strange sound. Not a clang, not the hiss of slicing metal. It was a thwip, and then silence. Her blade, curved and honed to molecular sharpness, had bent at a 90-degree angle on contact, like it had struck rubber. Veyna blinked, looked down at the useless weapon in her hands, touched the blade with disbelief. It wobbled like jelly. "What?" He moved then, fast. One step forward, palm raised, and tapped her square in the chest. The impact was gentle, barely a push, but Veyna flew back 15 feet and crashed against the arena wall, gasping. The crowd went wild, not in celebration, in shock. Raylan rolled his shoulder. "Told you. Classified tech." Chapter 1. Secrets in the Suit. Back in the underground prep chambers, Veyna stormed into his cell, flanked by guards who looked unsure whether to aim their weapons at her or him. "You cheated." Raylan was sipping water, suit half unzipped, revealing a network of glowing threads beneath. "Did I? Or did your empire underestimate us again?" She hissed. "That armor isn't on any known registry." He smiled. "Because it's not armor. It's a living material. Grown, not forged. Organic, not quite. It's AI reactive polymer. It reads intention, responds to force vectors, and manipulates kinetic transfer in real time. Your blade hit it, and it simply chose not to be cut." She folded her arms. "You're lying." "Am I?" He tossed her a data chip. She caught it midair. The contents glimmered briefly. Schematics, test logs, deep core research stamped by something called Project Ogden. "You humans never had this level of tech." Raylan stood, and his voice was suddenly colder. "That's what the Confederacy thought when they glassed Earth's colonies, when they took Mars, when they slaughtered our outposts one by one." She looked at him differently now. Less like prey, more like problem. "So what's your endgame?" "Revenge." Raylan gave a half smile. "Victory." Chapter 2. The Human Gambit. Word spread fast. A human had beaten a blade sister in open combat. Whispers turned to rumors. Rumors turned to fear. The Confederacy had underestimated Earth once too often, and Earth had adapted. Scarcity and extinction had bred innovation. Pain had become potential. Project Ogden, organic dynamic entropic nanofiber, was humanity's moonshot developed after the siege of Europa. It wasn't just armor. It was a weapon disguised as weakness. Now, they had a prototype and a walking ambassador in Knox. But he hadn't come for show. He'd come to free the captives. Dozens of human prisoners were still being used as lab rats, gladiators, or worse, across the outer systems. Raylan's battle was just a distraction. While the crowd buzzed about the match, a small team of operatives was using the chaos to liberate the others. Veyna watched him prepare his gear again. Why not tell the galaxy? Why fight in silence? He paused, turning. Because they wouldn't believe us. They never do, until the sword bends. Chapter 3. Trust, Fractured and Forming. Veyna could have reported him. Instead, she followed. In secret, she found the labs where the other humans were kept, and she saw, firsthand, how the Confederacy dissected and studied her former opponents. How the same empire she bled for used sentients like clay for weapons testing. She returned to Raylan silent. You saw it, he said. I did. Still think I cheated? No. I think I've been a blade too long. Maybe it's time to be the hand. They didn't speak after that, but she stood beside him when the alarms blared. The raid had begun. Chapter 4. Last Stand at the Outer Gate. The arena turned into a battlefield as guards poured in. Veyna sliced through her own kin without hesitation. Raylan, his armor pulsing with adaptive force, absorbed blasts and returned them with surgical strikes. The prisoners moved in a tight formation behind them, making their way to the drop shuttle disguised beneath the arena floor. A high-ranking Confederacy general, a spider-like ethery named Relzok, descended with a mechanized strike team. Earth trash, Relzok hissed. You bring traitors and tricks. You'll die a joke. Raylan looked to Veyna. She nodded. This time they struck first. The battle was brief but brutal. Veyna used her agility to slice Relzok's legs, while Raylan tanked a direct plasma barrage, charging through like it was mist. His armor absorbed the heat and rechanneled it into a single punch that vaporized Relzok's core. The path was open. Chapter 5. A New Kind of War. As the dropship ascended, Veyna looked back at the arena, smoking, fractured, symbols of power crumbling. You think they'll forgive us? She asked. Raylan shrugged. Forgiveness is irrelevant. Fear works better. She smirked. You're scarier than you look, human. And you're more loyal than you pretend, Blade Sister. The stars opened before them. Earth's hidden fleet waited in the asteroid belt beyond. The war wasn't over. Not yet. But the galaxy had learned a lesson that day. Don't laugh at the armor. Not until you know what it's hiding. From rubber to revolution. Veyna now walks among the rebels. Not as a defector, but a believer. And Raylan, promoted beyond rank, were the newer version of the armor. Sleeker, deadlier, smarter. Word of the bending sword spread across systems, turning into a myth among oppressors and a rallying cry among the oppressed.